We're here live at TedXBeaconStreet, and I'm sitting down with Mike Festa, director of Wayfair Next. And Mike, you just got off the stage. How'd it go?
Yes, it was great. I mean, I was a little nervous up there, but I'm excited about, introducing Makefield to people and kind of getting people's energy flowing and thinking about this is a really long-term project of,
Yeah.
what can we do today?
So we'll get into Makefield in a sec, but well, I guess we are going to get into it a little now because it was part of your talk.
Mhm.
But in general, what was your talk about?
Sure. So I'm basically talking about the transformative power of virtual reality and how we can use the tools that we have today, like photographs, to start creating 3D content that represents our real world and placing those in real locations around the world.
Yeah, and so this Makefield is kind of an amalgamation of a lot of different things. Why don't you go into more
Yeah,
detail?
so I think the kind of the key inspirations that really describe what it is are Google Earth, Wikipedia, and Minecraft, kind of all mixed together.
Mhm.
Whereas you get the creativity of Minecraft where you're inside the game and you're doing it socially and collaboratively with your friends and you're building things. With Wikipedia of the global collection of knowledge that's getting shared and created and curated. And then with the freedom and detail of Google Earth that lets you travel anywhere around the world. We just want to bring the extra level of detail down to that street level view.
Yeah, that's great. And so let me ask you this. Yeah, I understand that this is still in sort of the beginning
Mhm.
phase. As you said before, it's sort of this is just like the seed that we're
Yeah,
hoping sparks a
absolutely.
lot out. Um, but tell me a little bit about this collaborative nature and why do people gravitate towards it and what effect does it have on
Mhm.
people who play along
Sure.
with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you look at a lot of the, popular things like Minecraft I use as an example, I think it's interesting for people to be able to share what they're creating. So I think naturally, like humans are creative, thoughtful people, and they like to produce new works of art or, recreate things, and then do that with their friends because it's great to make, a painting, but if you don't have the opportunity to share it, then people don't, get to appreciate it. And as, a content creator, it's a lot more fulfilling to be able to do together and collaboratively.
Yeah, and I think it's so cool when you do collaborate like that because you're making your own thing with the tools that are available. But when you share it, it opens up because then I look at what you've created and I'm like, oh, he used
Right. You
whatever
can really
that he
inspire
used that
others.
box for
Yeah.
this. I never thought it could be used for that.
Hmm. Yeah.
I think that's great.
Absolutely. And I think one of the new technologies that people don't yet appreciate is social impact of VR. Most virtual reality experiences that people have tried so far have been limited to kind of an isolated single experience where you're in there all by yourself, like some mysterious world. And it really does take you out of where you are. And one of the concerns with a lot of people is like, oh, is this just going to disconnect society? But I think in contrast, it's actually going to connect society because you can have this personal connection and sense of presence with people that don't necessarily share the same physical space as you. But you can be in this, new environment and, you know, can share, participate together from wherever you are.
Yeah, and one thing I don't think we mentioned until now that this is a
This
VR
is a virtual
experience.
reality
So
project. Yeah, so
if
we're
you're thinking that
designing
it's
it
on a
from like
screen,
in VR. I mean, there will be, two-dimensional tools as well, especially some of the like, community meshes boards and programs for interfacing with the community. However, the core goal and idea is to have a world that you're inside, a virtual world that you connect to with other people, and you're in there together, grabbing different building blocks, putting stuff together, real or imaginary, in the space. Those that do choose to contribute real things based on like reference imagery, for example, can submit those back up to the master content repository. And then those changes are available to everybody else in sections that they haven't modified in the game. So their world is going to get more detailed as the community builds up this kind of global collective of knowledge of the way the world is.
yeah, that's cool. And let me ask you this: what is the end goal? Now, maybe we
Mhm.
don't know, and maybe
Yeah,
that's
that's
part of
actually
it.
part of the interesting part is like, what can we make with this? And I think, we see tools like Google Earth, and on top of that, you have all these different interesting layers of travel and history and education. And I believe you can take that same concept, bring it to VR, where it's much more immersive, it's more intuitive. I'm personally very excited about like kind of the historical and the travel and the future planning aspect. But those are just like some of many ideas. Like you use create video games in their space, or play different games in neighborhoods they're familiar with, or learn more about places they want to get more familiar with. Visit.
Awesome. And I have one more question for you. It's 2016. We're going on 2017
Mhm.
now. At what year are we just going to be in the Matrix
Yeah,
now?
I mean, I think that, that's still a ways off, but
Okay.
I see a project like this taking, at least a decade to really get to the level of detail that makes it feel like you can travel anywhere in the world and see a high level of detail.
Hmm.
But the technology keeps improving that, scanning technology, for example, like right today we're using camera, uh, cameras that people have in their pockets. But I think in the next 5 years, we're going to have these augmented reality headsets that are naturally scanning the world anyway as part
Hmm.
of their function. And so the data that these headsets are collecting can be used to kind of help accelerate the population of the 3D environment.
Great. So this sounds amazing. I want to be a part of it. I want to do it. I want to jump in and join. How do I do it?
Yeah, so visit makefield.org. Again, this is the early days, but we're trying to get a group of people that are interested, typically like photographers, artists, historians, gamers, but really anyone who's, interested in creating a world for limitless possibilities.
Awesome. That's Makefield. So like MAKE
Makefield.org.
.org.
Yes.
All right. Well, Mike, thanks so much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. And Mike Festa, you can see his whole talk by going to TedXBeaconStreet.com.